What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of Hollywood Tales, where my guests come on, talk about themselves a little bit, and then we ask them their best Hollywood tale, which you're going to hear today. Welcome, Feraz. Feraz is an old friend of mine.
Good to
What's up,
be here.
dude? Yeah, thanks for
What's
making
up,
time.
Man? Yeah, it's good to see you.
I feel like I haven't sat in the studio for a minute, so I feel a little, a little rickety.
Yeah, I'm just used to getting up late these days. So like for me, like getting anywhere by 11 a.m. is like, all right, let's pound like a cold brew.
Thanks for making time. We try to bank. By the way, give it up for Wolf Ramirez over here, our videographer, producer, editor. Thanks for being here with us, Wolf.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm trying to get better at getting up early. Like there's no excuse to not be up and moving and doing things by like 10 in the morning.
No, I know. Well, but we're night people. We're comics and we're always thinking and writing. And so we try to bank. You've been here to Jam in the Van.
Yeah, we've done a few shows back there.
Yeah, they just built this podcast studio, which is awesome. So we've been trying to bank episodes every week. I try to do like 3 or 4 in a day. So I figured let's start early. I figured you're the earliest riser of all the guests that I have.
You know what's crazy is when I used to do when I was personal training, like because that's
and
what
you trained me at one point.
And I did train you at one point. And you got pretty ripped. That's one of the most jacked 50-year-olds you'll ever meet.
51, dude. Actually.
51.
Yeah.
Damn, when did you turn 51? When's your birthday?
June 27th. Coming up.
Coming up.
Yeah.
There we go.
52.
Damn, son. Making it look easy. I feel like I'm falling apart at 34, dude.
You look good. You look young for 34.
Thanks. I got plantar fasciitis right now, man. I feel like
I've had that, dude. It's the worst. Which
sucks.
foot?
It's on my left foot.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So what is it? A bone spur, if I remember correctly? Or?
It can cause bone spurs, but it's on the bottom of your foot near the heel. So if you have like sharp heel pain, a lot of people think they might have like hurt their heel, but really it's the tiny muscle under your foot.
Dr. Ozel here with us this afternoon.
Yeah.
At Jam of the Van.
Yeah. So I've just been fixing that, man.
Do you put the golf ball? They say step on a golf ball and roll it around on your.
Bro, I went ham. I spent like 45 minutes on Amazon, an hour watching physical therapy videos on YouTube. I got this.
So what do you do?
I got so the biggest things are you want to make your calf looser because a lot of times your body's a kinetic chain, right? So if you have pain in one area, it doesn't mean that's the area that's hurting. Right. Another area is tight.
Your knee or your
exactly.
Right.
So with plantar fasciitis or a lot of foot pain or even knee pain, a lot of the time it's linked to your calf being super fucking tight.
I remember I had it for a couple months.
So I have a Theragun. You used one of those?
Oh, yeah. Those.
Yeah, I got the good one. So I just jammed the shit out of that all over my calf.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's feeling better. And I bought these $45 insoles that just came off Amazon yesterday.
Do you think you got plantar fasciitis?
Plantar fasciitis.
Plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
Do you think you got it from, because I got mine from when I was traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Around the world, just like literally with your bag from in and out of airports, checking in and out of hotels. Like you're just doing a lot of walking.
That's so true, dude. I'll sometimes when I'm on the road heavy and there's like for comedy, it's like there's days and weeks where you feel like, I don't know if I'm a professional comedian or just a professional traveler.
Right.
Like I just live in airports. Like 98% of my time is just airports or planes, and then I'm on stage for like 45 minutes, and that's it. But I got it. I was in Hawaii last week.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah.
You were which island?
Big Island.
Which is called
It's just that's the thing about Big Island. It's just called the Big Island of Hawaii, or even technically that like is.
I thought Kona was considered the Big Island.
No, so Kailua Kona is where you fly into on Big Island. Kauai is like another really big island that's kind of the most like untouched, like straight Jurassic Park shit. You know?
And you and your girl went.
Me and my girl and a bunch of my buddies, we went out there. And Big Island's interesting because it's the most like rural of the islands. So you got the least amount of tourists other than Kauai. But you got that perfect blend of like nature and not as many tourists, but still enough stuff going on.
It looked like you guys were doing a lot of cool shit, man.
I went scuba diving. Yeah. Last time I was there, I went scuba diving with nighttime manta ray scuba diving. So you go out at night with 50 other divers. You sit on the ocean floor. They put big ass floodlights in the middle. They call it a campfire.
Yeah.
And these giant manta rays. Just like 3 manta rays.
They're attracted to the light, I guess.
Well, the light attract the plankton. And they eat the plankton.
So
it's like you have the bait on the hook.
That's like a weird ecosystem thing going on, right?
Yeah.
Human beings, illuminating light.
Yeah.
The light attracts these little, what are they called?
Plankton.
The little like fish, I guess, or
They're
whatever.
Tiny as hell. Yeah, they're
right?
really,
and
really
the manta
tiny.
ray come in and eat does anything eat the manta ray, or I guess you can't.
Sharks? I don't know. Probably. Yeah, I don't know what eats manta ray. Humans destroying the ocean, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, but then they this is kind of a funny story. So they come and they give you little flashlights too. So you can hold, everyone has a flashlight in front of them. So there's some plankton. So you have a chance of the manta rays coming to you. And so we're sitting there and the manta rays keep coming over me. Like, and there's like 50 divers. They're maybe going over other people once. I get them coming over me like 3 times, this close to my face, 15 feet.
You're like Aquaman, bro.
So I'm holding my girlfriend's hand, right, while we're on the ocean floor, all cute and shit. And then when
this is on this recent trip.
This was on the trip before this last, with the same island. Right. This was 2-3 just before pandemic. And then when we get on shore, she's like, I feel like they could sense my love. This is classic, like, you know, like girl. She's like all into astrology and shit.
Her.
Yeah, sweetie.
God bless her.
And so she's like, I felt like every time I squeezed your hand, that's when they would come over. I was like, no, you want to know why they were coming over? I kept pissing myself, and the piss was attracting more plankton.
That's
so
so
every time I
funny.
pissed, I was getting swarmed by
Did
plankton.
you tell her that?
Yeah.
What'd she say? She's like,
like-
you ruined my moment.
Yeah.
I had a eat, pray, love moment.
Yeah, it's
Or
true.
Eat, love, pray, whatever the fuck.
That's true. When your girlfriend wants something to be about, you know, energy,
Yeah.
just let her have it. Just
Just,
let
yeah,
it be about
give
the
it to her.
stars, astrology, energy. Don't burst the
She's
bubble.
like, you pissed all over my dreams.
yeah, basically. I pissed all over the dreams.
So, dude, so we've known each other, what, since like 20, I want to say 2011, 12-ish, right?
Yeah, 2012 sounds right.
And where'd we meet? It was up at the San Jose Improv, was it? Or?
Comedy Palace, San Diego.
Comedy Palace,
which
San
is no
Diego,
more.
that's right.
Rest in peace, Comedy Palace.
I heard that it was bought out and they renamed it.
Yeah, I think I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure some of the people who they run one of those really good comedy clubs in Arizona. They bought it out and they call it Mic Drop now.
Mic Drop. Oh, that's Mic Drop now?
Yeah. So it's the new.
interesting,
It's one of
I
the
saw
newest
something on
clubs out there.
Instagram about this Mic Drop place, but I didn't realize it was the Comedy Palace.
Yeah, it looks
Comedy
cool.
Palace used to be like a Greek restaurant with a stage, basically, right?
It was a great.
It was cool. I performed there many times.
Yeah, I that was like my home club. So like one thing I've always done, and in comedy and looking back, I realized I was doing it, though I wasn't necessarily meaning to some of the time, was kind of like going where they ain't, going where people aren't trying to go. So
Off the beaten path.
yeah, and like not worrying about going where like all the cool kids are going. Like, just what do
Right.
I want and what'll service that,
Sure.
you know? So like in San Diego, back when I started, now it's a booming scene. There's like 5 clubs. There's
Right.
like, you could do comedy 7 nights a week if you
Right.
wanted. When I was there, you could only do comedy 3 nights a week.
Right.
And when you were coming up, if you got up twice of those 3 opportunities,
You're
you were
lucky.
like, man, I'm really doing comedy this
Right.
week. I got up twice, you know? There was the La Jolla was mainly where you wanted to get in, right?
The La Jolla Comedy Store.
Yeah, then Madhouse had some stuff going on. They're in and out.
American Comedy Club.
American
isn't
wasn't there yet.
okay.
American got started like the year I left, like 2000 and like late
And
2012,
what-
late 2013.
Sorry,
2013.
just correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong. You lived in San Diego not because you went to school there.
Yeah.
Oh, you did go to school.
Yeah,
there.
UC San Diego.
Oh, for some reason I thought because you're a NoCal guy, you went to Berkeley for some reason.
No, I'm the one brown guy from NorCal that didn't go didn't go to
San Diego,
Berkeley.
you went to UCSD?
UCSD.
Right.
Yeah, so I
Was
would,
it expensive?
you know, it's like
Back then?
back then. I mean, it's all relative. You know what I mean? Like it's more
30,
expensive.
40 grand a year?
No, like I think it was one of the cheaper. I mean, it's still fucking expensive. America. It was like 20. But I mean, in terms of
year.
yeah,
Right.
But in terms of public schools, right? I mean, the next down you go is state schools, which are like still going to cost you, I think, like 10 or something.
I thought UCSD was a private. I'm like sweating
No,
for some reason.
there's USD, which
Is
is
there air conditioning going on? By the way? I'm like sweating for some reason. Maybe because I'm drinking. I don't
you
know.
got that. You got your strong cardiovascular system, bro. Your just metabolic heart rate is.
I mean, I'm
elevated.
51 and I look fantastic. And my body's working
Shredded.
against me right now. Shredded at 51. I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Bro, I remember one time when we went to the gym, and I wasn't sure how much you were going to be able to lift because you're like, oh, I haven't been to the gym in like 6 months or something. You're trying to get back into it, and we went on the bench, and he just started throwing up like a plate and like 160 pounds, like for like without even like you hadn't been in the gym in 6 months. You were still like 40 years old or something at the time, and you just like were like just started pounding out plates plus, and I was like, the fuck is this guy made of? I was like, I don't know how.
You know what it is, man? I just make up my mind. It's a mental thing. It's not,
Yeah.
I don't really physically have the strength. But
Yeah.
in my head, I think I do.
That's a lot of it. The mental
Right? It's
strength.
all
Yeah,
mental.
100%.
So let's sidebar really quick. You went to San Diego State.
Right. UCSD.
No, I'm sorry, UCSD. You got
Yeah.
a degree in
I did poli-sci and theater. Studied both poli-sci and
right.
theater.
And
yeah.
then you applied for the FBI.
No, I got
Or
in
you applied for
CIA.
CIA, excuse me.
So what happened is I got into the CIA. So technically I was a counterterrorism. I was hired as a counterterrorism analyst. and I became
Sorry.
and I settled
But
on.
because you look like a handsome terrorist. He's like the Ryan Gosling of ISIS.
I would
This
have
fucking guy.
I would have infiltrated. I would have infiltrated a lot of cells.
Do you speak what is it? You're Afghani and Pakistani.
I speak Urdu.
You speak Urdu
Yeah.
fluently?
Yeah, fluently. It's rusty now, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Say something in Urdu. We'll subtitle it.
oh
Don't
man,
insult me.
don't insult you.
Say something and tell me what you said.
Okay. अभी हम podcast कर रहे हैं. Ahmed Ahmed के साथ podcast कर रहे हैं. उसका podcast का नाम है Hollywood Tales.
That sounds like a threat.
I'm sure my pronunciation was like dog shit. Anyone who speaks,
I will kill you after the podcast.
yeah.
Ahmed Ahmed, done.
He's I did a little shout out, a little plug for all your fans in Punjab.
Yeah. Because
You know?
they're all watching.
They're all watching, man. The hottest fucking podcast at coming to Karachi.
Let's even go backwards. You're
Yeah.
half Pakistani, half Afghani.
I'm a quarter Afghan, quarter Kashmiri, and half Pakistani.
And who's who in your family?
My dad is Pakistani. My mom.
I met your dad, who's super smart and funny and whimsical.
Thanks.
He has a shitty kind of little. He likes to jab people with his funny.
Yeah, he has a funny sense of humor. He'll give you
he's
some,
very
he'll give you
funny.
some zingers.
Are you in your head? Did you really apply for the CIA, or did you really do?
Did this really happen? No, I just did a lot of acid. Did a lot of acid. No, I got in. This is how it happened. So I wish it was a sexier story. I'm going to. I didn't plan on doing this necessarily. I was going to the career fair at UCSD. So on the main walk, they have a career fair twice a year. You're going down. Every company, big companies
What does
have.
that mean? Like they're setting up booths, and you go from booth to booth, and you get a
Give your
pamphlet.
resume, shake a hand, hope you get a interview or
It's
something.
almost like doing college gigs for right. Isn't
Yes,
it?
like an
a
expo.
NACA.
Exactly, like a NACA, which I've done a lot of. So it's like an expo hall, right? Gazebos. Everybody got their little white pop-up tents, right? So I'm walking down and I'm like, there's this big ass law firm and there's a fucking Geico, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, HD Supply, like, you know, big things. And you're looking at what looks good. And then I see, I swear to God, it's just a white pop-up, $100 gazebo tent, and on a white piece of printer paper, it just says CIA taped to the fucking gazebo tent. So I go up to him and I'm like, is this like
This is a joke.
yeah, I'm like, is this like the CIA or does this stand for like something else, you know? And he's like, no, we're the CIA.
So hold on. So they're scouting students, and students are scouting.
Yeah.
Right? So but you exchange information right there, I guess.
Yeah, I gave him my resume. I just talked to him for a little bit and I told him about what I've been up to. You know, I did poli-sci. I had a very good GPA. You know, it was like
What was your GPA?
a 3.9. So like I was like
Not good enough.
not good enough. I was down 0.1 from a 4.0. So like, and then I also like I interned for Schwarzenegger in DC working on like climate policy.
I didn't know that.
I studied international politics in Budapest and
What was it like interning for Schwarzenegger? Did you meet him? And
I got to meet him once because he was always in California and I was in DC, right?
Oh, I did not know all this fucking stuff.
Yeah, man. So because the governor,
Catch me up.
the governor, they work in California most of the time. So I was in DC. I was working at his office, but I was on Capitol Hill every day. So I was in Congress and Senate like every single day, tracking
Suit, tie.
suit, tie.
You
every
were that
day.
guy?
Yeah, I was a Washington D.C. intern. So I was there, just tracking what they thought about different policy, different legislation that was important for California to know about.
But
and
you're
I'd
an
write
intern, so you're
reports.
not getting paid.
Nope.
So how do you make it? How were you surviving?
It's like a
financially?
lot like comedy. You know, you're doing the work and you're not getting much. Well, I was in school still. So it was like my tuition, my normal school tuition it was just the same, but I happened to be in
But
DC.
you were in school in San Diego.
They have a program called UCDC where you're able to transfer. It's almost like a study abroad, but you're going to DC to do a political internship. So you're getting credits. So I was getting college credits
But who
while
paid
there.
for you to live there?
Just the same way I paid for college and stuff. My dad helped me out.
Your
and
dad,
other
yeah,
stuff, yeah, stuff like that. So it was like
Rich parents.
rich parents, you know, blessed, privilege, brown privilege, bro. Brown privilege is a great thing, you know, because what happens is
Not many of us out there.
yeah,
Sorry, this sign isn't. It's not
this is integral.
stable. Yeah.
We can't even talk unless this is the perfect angle.
Well, no, it might drop at some point, which
Yeah.
means we made a cancel moment.
That's what happens. All right. So anyway, like I met him one time. And when I met him, I was all excited to meet him. You know, I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. I feel like everybody loved him for some reason or another,
Yeah.
right? Whether you're into his movies or his politics or the Speedo phase,
No,
like
he
you're
was
into it.
fucking Schwarzenegger. He's still the man.
Yeah, dude. So I thought in my head, I'd be like, it's great to finally meet you, Governor. And he'd be like, I heard you're the greatest intern that ever lived, you know? And I'd jump in his arms and he'd be like, let's cuddle in the chopper.
He picked you up and
He
like,
picked me up. He's like, yeah. So I meet him. This is literally what happens though. So I meet him and I shake his hand, right? So I say, it's great to finally meet you, Governor. And then he grabs my hand and he just, I swear to God, for like 35 seconds, he just goes, intern, we have an intern. He just keeps laughing and smiling and shaking my hand. And in the last like 35 seconds,
Maybe there was a little bit more to that
yeah,
behind his handshake.
yeah, he was just coming, just coming over. No, I was
Does he have
just,
big hands?
he had huge hands, but he's actually short.
Yeah, I've seen him because I've seen him around Venice Beach.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen him ride his bike around Venice Beach.
You know what's
a lot.
interesting about Schwarzenegger or guys like that is like their energy is so massive.
Yeah, he's charismatic. They seem
They
bigger than
seem
life.
huge.
Yeah.
Even when he enters the room, he seems big. And it's not until he's this close to you
Yeah.
that you realize you're looking down at
So what is
Arnold
he, like
Schwarzenegger.
5'10"?
Maybe. Yeah, he's probably around
What are you,
5'10".
6'1", 6'2"?
I'm a little over 6, like
Yeah.
an inch or two over 6. But it's like, unless my posture's bad. But yeah, it was cool to meet him. You know what's really interesting about meeting Arnold is because when you're around a bunch of senators and those types in DC, they're kind of like A-list celebrities in their own
Absolutely.
industry, right? They have that magnanimous sort of charismatic personality. People are drawn to them. It takes something to be a fucking senator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when Arnold would walk in the room, the senators would be fangirling over him. Like senators were popping their head out of the offices,
Well, it helps
like
that you were a
trying to talk to him.
blockbuster movie star for fucking 2/3 of your life.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
And then you walk into a room.
Yeah, and he just controlled it like that. Like if he was a citizen, he could have been president for sure.
So I feel like there are certain people that were placed on this planet that just were given that charisma.
There's some,
Like
yeah, there's some-
Obama, I think, is one of those guys. I met Obama.
yeah,
That motherfucker, it's like Black Elvis walked in the room.
yeah,
Everybody was swooning. I was at a dinner at the White House and I met him and,
Yeah.
and I shook his hand. He had big hands too.
yeah.
And we were about the same height. I'm 6'2" and he was about 6'2". But he just had this like glow and this like radiance about him. And I was just like, I was in awe.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I met the president, because I met this guy who like, you know, is changing history basically and is part of history.
100%. I could watch him do anything.
Like a historical, it's like meeting Martin Luther King or like.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's
Malcolm
incredible.
X,
I mean, that's
you
the thing too. To become the first black president, it's like, do you realize what you have to have inside of you, like in every way, shape, and form? Charisma, intelligence,
yeah.
leadership. You have to have
Yeah.
everything on tens to accomplish that goal, and he did it. It's like, yeah, it's an incredible person. I just started watching his Netflix nature documentary. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's great. It just he makes everything sound majestic.
Well, his voice is very.
Now the grass is growing ever greener. The sun shines down on the plants, causing the birds to come. You can talk about literally anything. It's like dust is building on my desk. I grab a wipe, clean it all off. You're just like,
That's an applause break.
just like give him a fucking Emmy.
What? So you finished your internship and then you pivot where? Back to San Diego.
Back to San Diego, and
Which is where I met you at the Comedy Palace.
yeah.
right?
So this was you.
So this is post DC.
You met me about 6 months after graduation.
You met me actually.
I met you. Yeah. I met you. Yeah.
Just joking.
No, I did. I 100% did. I was like, I told the booker.
I'm fucking around. Bro.
No, I told the booker, I was like, hey, man, fan of Ahmed Ahmed's. Think we'd have a lot in common. Would love to open for him if the spot's open. And he's like, sure. So I requested that weekend to open for Ahmed. That's how I met him.
There you have it.
You got, which is a Hollywood lesson.
It's on paper.
You don't get what you don't ask for. A lot of people are scared to ask for shit when you're at a lower level. You know what I mean? Don't be stupid. Ask for shit that you maybe deserve.
You'd be shocked. Sometimes
Yeah.
there are people out there that will say yes. Most people will say no. I've been rejected.
100%. And but you have to be okay with that in this town.
Yeah.
Right? Squeaky wheel gets the grease, but if you don't get any fucking grease, go look for some more grease elsewhere. Don't sit around and pout about it. You know what I mean?
So we meet at the Comedy Palace. We exchange numbers. We stay friends.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of stayed connected. And then you were kind of lingering around in the LA comedy scene. You were personal training.
Yeah.
And I was living up in the Hollywood Hills. And I can't remember how it came about, but I said, hey, will you come train me?
I can't remember
a couple days a week, or I can't remember the transaction.
Yeah, the timeline gets. I know. I'm kind of
It
confused.
was like 20.
somewhere in the timeline
13.
between. So I'm trying to remember if I had already done a few road dates, open if middling for you, and then we were training on the road. I think.
It was all
We went to the gym.
cross-pollinated,
Yeah, I think we went to the gym together when we were out of town, and you
Yeah.
were like, "This is cool. You want to train me when we get back into town?" And I was like, "Let's do it." So then we were just like working
And I was
out.
on a TV series at the time, so I could afford you. I think it
Yes.
was-
Yeah, so that was the training thing. You know what's funny about how I got back? So I was training in college that was my college job, right? And then when I graduated, I got into the CIA and I got into law school. and I put both
Which
of them
law
on
school?
hold. I think I was going to go to American University in DC because I wanted to go back to DC, and I wanted to do international relations. And I figured I could package that with CIA
So the
shit.
CIA vetted you, and they're like,
Yeah, so this is what
on
happened. Just to
board?
wrap that story up,
yeah,
I go to the CIA. I give him my resume. We
we're
talk a
spider
little bit.
webbing so many different.
I
Topics
know.
right
There's
now.
so much classic. And we haven't even smoked weed. So see, she just when we're high. So I give the guy my resume, and we talk a little bit, and then I'm walking away, and he literally comes out and like follows me down. He grabs me like 4 booths later. He's like, "Hey man, we just took a look at your resume and talked to my colleague. This is looks like really promising. I'm gonna fast track this to my superiors. Expect a call later tonight from a block number.
wow.
If you get any calls from block number, answer them." And I'm like, "Okay."
From a block number.
Yeah, I'm like,
that,
all right,
that could
it's
be
happening.
the CIA or your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, or just one of the 9,000 scams you get, or someone really wants to contact me about my
Spam
extended
risk.
warranty, you know. And so I get a call that evening, and they're like, "Hey, this is great. We want to schedule interviews for you." So what ends up happening is I do like 3 different standardized tests, sort of like IQ tests and other sorts of exams. I have to give 2 different presentations, like 20-minute presentations on how I would solve
Where
different
in the
world crises.
CIA building in DC?
No, they rent an office at UCSD. They rent a
Oh,
room
interesting.
and
Wow.
conduct interviews out of the campus.
This is fascinating. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Because UCSD has
You,
a
Wolf?
UCSD has a really good political science program. So I'm sure they do it at a lot of places that have really good political science, or, just who knows? I don't know. So anyway, I do that. I give 2 presentations on how I would solve world crises. 3, actually. One about South American drug trade. The other was about cyber terrorism emerging from China and the domino effect.
You
And
gave
the
a
thir-
presentation on these.
Yeah,
things.
20-minute things about what the problem is and ways we could solve them. And the third one was... and
This is all fucking news. to
This is
me.
the thing. When I was in college, I partied. I was a personal trainer. I was president of fraternity. I partied a lot, but I also got up every day and read the whole Wall Street Journal at 9 a.m. every single day. So I was really, really into politics and international relations, which is why so much of my stand-up is socio-political.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons I got into stand-up. I always liked guys like Jon Stewart, George Carlin. That's the reason I wanted to do any of this, But anyway, so one of the presentations I gave was about Afghanistan, and interesting enough, it's like I told him straight up, I was like, "You'll never win in Afghanistan because these guys, there's no winning. It's part of the culture to
Right.
you grow up seeing your friends dying fighting invaders.
Yeah, you live and die. Born a Muslim, die a Muslim.
And it's as much a part of the culture to
My dad used to always tell me that. You were born a Muslim, you will die a Muslim. I'm like, was that a threat?
You're like, "Dad, we're at Baskin Robbins. Can we just get ice
I'm
cream?"
watching cartoons.
Yeah, this is a weird time for this
9.
lesson. It's a weird time for this lesson, man. Yeah, I'm 9 years old, Dad.
My dad used to tell me some heavy shit when I was
Yeah.
a kid, like he talking about Day of Judgment and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm literally trying to watch Tom and Jerry right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, Muslim dads love getting deep, dude.
Was your dad like that?
My dad would just get philosophical about
But
lessons.
your dad was more like modern than my dad. I think.
Yeah, and he was very, very modern dude. And he just always had a really light sense of humor to him. And dark sense of humor to him too, in a funny and hilarious way.
He heckled you recently at some. I saw you at some open stage that had no seats. And you were like, "Hi," and he was like,
Yeah.
"You suck."
Yeah, that was a little sketch we just did. But he's down, so he's just down to do a sketch. I'm like, "You want to do this sketch or you just tell me I suck in this camera?" And he's like, "Let's do it." You know what I mean? He likes it. So, but anyway, that's this to wrap the CIA thing up. I did all that. They hit me up, and one day I get a call, and he's like, "This is Vitor. You're a recruitment officer from the agency." And I was like, "Your name's Vitor? There's no way this is a real name."
And stage name. In
That's his
Hollywood.
stage name, yeah. Also, that's the funny thing. When they give you their cards, there's only first names on their cards.
Of course.
Maybe a last name letter. And you don't know if it's real, right? It's like Vitor S or like Jack K. And that's a card. Then, I kept their cards for it. But anyway, so he's like, "Hey, and here's the thing." So it all happened, and they were like, "We think you're great, blah, blah. We're going to fast track you, this and that. You should." And one of them said, so when I left, they said, "You're one of the top candidates here. And it normally takes a year for background checks and everything to vet you completely. Just stay patient, and we'll probably contact you in a year." So I said, "Cool. I'm going to defer my law school acceptance for a year. I'm going to." And I've been doing stand-up since I was 19, and I was like,
Why wouldn't you just go to law school until they called you?
because I wanted to do stand-up. I wanted to see what it was like. I was just graduating college, and I was like, "Cool. Let me get a solid year of just hitting the ground hard
And
for
what made
stand-up."
you want to be a stand-up?
Ever since I was,
What triggered you? Because I'll tell you what triggered me. Eddie Murphy Delirious.
interesting.
When I watched that special, I was like, I can do that.
Yeah, I think Jon Stewart and Greg Giraldo. I think guys who talked about shit that was talked
Ahead of
about
its
shit that
time,
was
yeah.
going on in the world
Sure.
and drew attention to it or drew attention to it in an interesting way. And I just wanted to make stuff that maybe make people think about matters in a slightly different way, you know, and
Yeah.
kind of build bridges between people in a way where maybe people stop yelling at each other and find some common ground, but
Or
also
stop
just
shooting.
stop shooting
you
at each
know?
other, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, I mean,
That's wild.
let's not make ridiculous demands, okay? It's America.
That's so crazy what happened. I'm so sad about
Yeah,
the news.
it's hard to do, you know, if you have shows on those types of nights or if you had an idea to post anything funny, and it's you just are, that kind of shit deflates any sort of comedic
Everything.
sensibility I have in me, and more as I get
Did you
older
see
too.
the
You know?
coach for who was the basketball coach?
Warriors, yeah.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Steve Kerr. I believe
Yeah,
was,
he did like a post show or pre-show like press conference, and people were like, "What do you think of the game?" And he's like, "This is not about the game."
Yeah,
Did you see that interview?
I did. Yeah, I did.
It was powerful because he literally just sidebarred everything and deferred everything over to the moment, which I thought was cool.
Totally, man. I mean, because how do you exactly? He's probably, you know, it's echoing kind of what I'm feeling. It's like, how do you talk about anything else on that day? Like, you know, it's even days after or weeks after. You're just kind of like, I was just listening to this podcast, just summing up all about it, and it's like, oh, and everyone, you know, what's the worst thing is we're all like, oh, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? And not to be like a not negative, but it's like I don't know if we fucking can do anything. Like
You can. You can. I just think that our, you know, look, I don't want to get all political, but our legislation, they're not allowing, you know, to put their fucking, to draw a line in the sand. And
for
say,
sure,
hey,
that's
you know,
part of.
vet these teenagers who are buying guns.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? I think that's the common ground. Hopefully, just to sum it up, is just make it harder for people to buy guns who aren't qualified to buy guns. We're not taking anyone's rights. You can bear arms. Just be a.
It's like
be
going
of a
through the
legal
TSA
age.
and taking your shoes off.
Yeah.
Like,
Why?
you know what? We're going to ask you to take your shoes off, take off your belt, take everything out of your pockets. Like, we need to vet who's going through security and who's going to get the fucking pass, right?
It's 100%, and especially if you're going to be able to buy a bigger gun, like an AR-15. Maybe
right.
that should
Like
be
if you're going to fly private.
100%. If you're going to have a higher thing, you got to get vetted a little bit more. I don't understand why that's so crazy for people to understand. And the simple answer is special interest group and lobbyists, right? It's all about
lobbyists.
NRA and all that bullshit, and we all know the arguments. But the reason it's so frustrating is just because I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, you know. And it's just how do we live?
I don't know.
How do we live with that?
I think the needle's going to move a little bit after this last incident because, you know, yeah.
They just have to. You know, look, we live in a country where the biggest time that happened, something like this happened, next to this one that just happened, was like Sandy Hook, right? And the amount of people that came out claiming that it didn't even happen, that it was actors and it was staged and it was a conspiracy.
serious?
Yeah, that's a huge thing amongst like fringe right-wing people.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, but it's, dude, to be a certain type of right-wing person in today's climate is to be a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Like they go hand in hand. If you are right-wing, you also believe the election was rigged. You also believe climate change is rigged. You also believe Obama wasn't born in America. You also believe masks, the vaccines are secretly blah, 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 blah. Like you literally can't be, and this isn't like far fringe right-wing. This is like a huge percentage of right-wing. You can't even be that without believing conspiracy theories.
And this is why Feraz got accepted into the CIA.
It gets me riled up, man. And I'm trying not to get riled up because it just gets.
It's too much.
It's too much, man. I can't handle it anymore. Like I'm writing less and less socio-political shit because I just don't think. I don't know. I'm losing hope in what can change anyone's mind.
Don't
Everyone's
lose hope,
stuck.
but you can't control the uncontrollable. Unless an act of God happens or like, not to get like religious, but you know there's a mosque next door?
I didn't.
You do or don't?
I didn't. Just crack a few beers, head over? Or?
Yeah. Make some salat.
Fucking walking.
Hey.
You're walking.
No, I was telling the Jam and the Band guys, just bust a hole through that wall right there. And
Yeah.
It literally will go right into probably the prayer room.
Jesus.
No, a lot.
yeah.
Let's get back on track with your career. So the CIA works out, doesn't work out. You go into stand up.
I go into stand up because
you fall in love with stand up, and you're like, all right, this is my jam. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, because I'd been doing it since I was 19. I like I said, I double majored in theater. I did all that stuff, and that was always for me and my passion. And then law school and stuff was like, this could be cool and kind of like follow my dad's footsteps, you know. And then I'm 3 months into really hitting the pavement, and I get the call from CIA, like, you're in. this is you're hired. I'm a
You're
cool.
like, too bad. I got a type 5 at the comedy store.
Yeah. I was like, I got a guy who's gonna pay me in chicken nuggets for if I do 8 minutes at this fucking bar in Temecula. So I really got a lot going on here, dude. I don't know.
My career is on fire right now.
Yeah. I just got paid in fucking one light. I got paid in one light beer at this dive bar where someone yelled racial slurs at me. But thanks for the offer.
You said no.
I said no. Yeah, actually, I said no basically, and they're like, well, we'll keep your file open for a bit if you change your mind. And I was like, that sounds creepy.
You didn't tell them why you said no. You just said
I told them that I forgot to tell them that I smoked weed in Amsterdam once.
that was your out. That was your exit.
Because I just kind of wanted to maybe keep it open too.
Oh.
So I was like, and I knew that if I smoked weed in a different country, it wouldn't be illegal. I thought this out. So anyway, they were like, he's like, this happens a lot. Don't worry. And he's like,
just drink a bunch of apple cider vinegar and water, and it'll go away in 3 days.
What's crazy is you could smoke weed. If you smoke weed, all you need is 1 year to go by, and you can still join something like the CIA. But if you smoked weed, it's more strict to be in like the FBI or the police or something. Like you need less time to go by to be in the CIA than to be in like the cops.
The CIA is,
something like that.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. But yeah.
So stand up. So fast forward.
Right. So then I'm like,
now
I'm
knee deep into stand up. That's kind of you moved to
knee
LA.
deep in stand up. Couldn't find a job doing anything else. So look this. I got into law school. I got into the CIA. I got rejected from working in a fucking sandwich shop. I couldn't get a job anywhere. This is 2010. Peak of the recession.
Can't get a job in the sandwich shop.
Yeah. Got rejected from the sandwich shop.
Got rejected from the sandwich.
So I got recertified as a personal trainer. Started training at LA Fitness, comedy at night, sleeping 5 hours a night.
And that's kind of how we re-engaged.
We met at the Comedy Palace, and then I moved to LA, training at Crunch, going on the road with you.
But we reconnected where in LA? Was it the Comedy Store maybe? Or?
I think I hit you up to even get some road dates with you before I officially moved.
Right.
Because I think kind of having that and having you having my backup here gave me a little bit of confidence to be like, okay, I got somebody up there who might like vouch for me here or there, or like I felt like I had some sort of something beyond San Diego. You know what I mean?
And I was touring a little bit more than I am now back then.
Yeah.
And it was fun to go on the road with you.
Hell yeah, so fun. We had we had a lot of crazy gigs.
La Jolla, we did La Jolla a lot. We did like Santa. We did a couple of gigs. Like I can't remember. What did we do?
Pittsburgh, Vegas.
Rooster T. Feathers, maybe?
Rooster T. Feathers. Rooster T. Feathers, yeah. Sunnyvale.
I don't know if
they're
What did we do
open.
in Vegas?
We did the Tropicana, the factory.
That's right.
We did the factory, yeah.
That's right. And then what was Pittsburgh? I don't think we did Pittsburgh together. I would have remembered that.
No, we did Pittsburgh because we went with Mike and we stayed with Mike and we either visited Mike and Kendall. Yeah, the Improv in Pittsburgh back then. I feel like we did. It was a long time ago though. But anyway, so we're doing those. I got a college agent too at the time, so I started headlining college shows. I was middling with you. I was trying to get in at the store, this and that, everywhere else.
We lived together for a minute too. Feraz was my roommate for like a couple years, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we got lucky there, like 2 solid years.
My friend Jason Teague, who's an architect developer, bought this little like bungalow rack shack like teardown right in Venice, about 100 feet from the sand, right there on like what was it, Washington and Pacific?
Yeah, right there, Washington.
26th.
We counted the steps from the beach. It was like less than 100 steps.
It was
from the
100
beach.
steps from the beach, and
it was rad.
It wasn't a great place. It was very old.
It was awesome.
It was built like in the 1920s. It was 2-story, 4-bedroom. Little like front yard kind of patio. Remember, it was a walk street. It wasn't a sidewalk. It wasn't a street.
It was next door to where they had the Real World.
The Real World.
The Real World house.
Dorothy Mountain.
Yeah. The Real World house was next door to where we.
The first Real World house
in Venice. Yeah.
In Venice Beach. It was right next door, and our neighbor Dorothy Mountain. Excuse me, I got the burps. So we used to do like a lot of. Well, I wasn't drinking at the time because I went through a weird.
Yeah. That was
But we were working out every morning. I was smoking weed, but I wasn't drinking.
That was rad. Yeah, we're just living at the beach.
On the beach, boxing, taking runs. Remember our little morning runs?
Yeah, dude. That period was
magic. Wasn't it?
It was magical, and it really taught me. It really taught me the importance of getting outside and go outside to play. Yeah. Like being out in the sun and being active.
We were doing a lot. Do our hashtag lifestyle weekends?
Yeah. Dude, there's nothing.
Barbecues, volleyball, fucking boxing, body surfing, running. Like we were everything. We were outside all the time.
Just casual bromance sunsets. Like you just be in the house. It's like you're like just smoking a bowl, watching something on Netflix, and you're like, it's 5:30. You want to go watch sunset on the beach? Yeah,
we
just
go
walk
right
out.
out there barefoot and just watch the sunset.
Yeah.
And everybody in our block for the most part was
Cool,
like,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I taught myself to skateboard. I was like, you know what? I'm on the beach. I was fucking like 26 years old.
Remember
I never
we'd go-
skateboarded.
We'd go to those little restaurants behind us.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What
That was
what was that place called? The Brazilian place? Not Brazilian.
there was a C&O Trattoria.
C&O. We never ate there though. What was the other place across
There's
the
a place
street?
you really liked.
The Peruvian place.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, the Italian place was
with the
another one.
dates,
Yeah.
with the pitted, with the
olive, the
date.
martini.
Yeah. I can't remember.
And then Nick's liquor store was right behind us, which I used to spend like thousands of dollars a month in that fucking place. Not on booze, it'd be like toilet paper and bread.
because everything
and
was
eggs.
so overpriced. It was
Well,
right
it was
on the
right
beach.
there,
Yeah.
and it was so overpriced, but it was like right there. Someone's like, you know what? I'm just gonna walk over there and get it.
Because that's the thing about living at the beach is it's amazing, but I think after 2 years of dealing with that traffic just to get in and out of your driveway, you like never want to leave.
That's the point. Is like I
And-
never wanted to try to drive to Ralph's because
Yeah.
it was just too much.
It kind of becomes a pain in the ass after a while.
It was a pain in the ass.
You're like,
So
I'm
oh,
ready
you know
to.
what? I'll go spend fucking $15 on eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I got kicked out of that
You
liquor
don't-
store.
you told
I
me
got
about
I got banned actually. I talked about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
With Victor Ortiz came on this podcast recently,
Cool, man. That guy's a
and
badass.
we talked about that how I got banned from Nick's liquor store in Venice Beach.
So fuck you, Nick.
Fuck you. No, it wasn't Nick.
Yeah.
It was the guy who. Anyway, we won't
Anyway,
get
we don't
into
gotta get into all that. But anyway, we're talking about when
we're living together. We're doing our lifestyle, and
Yeah.
then you. The house ended up getting sold.
Mm-hmm.
We went separate ways. We always stayed in touch. We've always been great friends and brothers, but we kind of went our separate ways. And then you went on and started writing.
Yeah, so I got into the CBS Diversity Showcase.
Talk about that because a lot of people that are watching this podcast who want to be comics or staff writers
Yeah.
don't know the process.
So I've gotten to a couple of like these diversity showcase type things, and there's other showcases too if you're not diverse and other things you can apply for, which is a big way to get moving in your career because you can't just sit around and wait for agents or managers or to do shit for you. So anyway, I did the CBS showcase, got into that by doing a bunch of characters and acting. That was all acting, but we were also writing sketches, and that got me my first like really good agents and stuff, And a couple of years there, got some cool auditions, booked a couple of things, didn't book enough things. And then I got dropped by my agents left actually. The ones who had brought me on, they went elsewhere.
Right.
And I wasn't like they went to bigger like huge agencies like ICM and stuff. And I wasn't big enough to go to ICM.
Yep.
And the people I was left with at this agency, they were like, no one here is really that crazy about you.
Right.
You were
You're not
kind of-
generating enough income for the agency.
yeah,
I know.
so
I've been there.
Bye. And I'm like,
Bye.
all right, fuck. So then I was like, what the fuck do I do now? All right, let's organize a stand-up tour. I got no audition. So then I did the huge stand-up tour and I shot a short film with Helen and we had Bobby Lee in it and we went to JFL.
Helen Hong.
Yeah, and so at JFL, I got signed by new agents and stuff. And then I was like directing short videos and focusing on writing more. And then I soon afterwards got new agents and then I got into the Disney writing program, which is like one of the best TV writing programs in the world. So like you get paid, you're on salary, and then you also, they introduce you to a bunch of showrunners and they get your writing tighter and stuff. So from there, I got staffed on an ABC comedy called American Housewife. And
Housewife. That's what it's called, Wolf.
American
I said American Family earlier.
nobody, you know what I've learned that this
I
fucking
keep
credit.
saying family. American Housewife.
Nobody can get the credit right. Every time I ask a comic,
know.
I never.
I know. I'm sorry. I fuck it up.
No, it's
a
okay.
lot.
It's okay. When I'm going on stage is when I care because you know what they say. They you know what people say sometimes. They're like he writes for Real Housewives, and I'm like, don't say I write for Real fucking Housewives. That's
Who
like
was on that show? Ali Wong.
Ali Wong,
Was she the star of the
Katie
show?
Mixon. She wasn't because it's been 5 seasons. So her acting career, she kind of blossomed and boomed in the midst of
During
that.
it, right.
Yeah,
I remember
So
that.
she,
Who was the star
she
of that
became
show?
bigger
I
than the
forgot.
role. Katie Mixon. Katie Mixon is in a lot of stuff. So she was the romantic interest in like Eastbound and Down. She's been in a ton of shows.
What about the dude? Wasn't he like from Fresh Off the Boat? or-
Diedrich Bader? He was from Drew Carey Show.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
in Office, my favorite role he ever did was a tiny role in Office Space.
Office
right?
Space,
He goes,
that's
you know,
right.
when he
Yeah,
goes,
yeah,
look at me. it's the breast exams. You know what I do with $1 million, man? Two chicks at the same time. So he killed it. He was really cool. Yeah, it was really good cast, and the little girl in it, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She had that scene stealing role with Leonardo DiCaprio. So her
Oh,
career,
yeah.
her career is booming. She's in a bunch of movies coming up.
How was that experience with you? There's Joe Prano. What's up, bud?
Yep. It was cool. It was really great. It was perfect. And also COVID hit right then, and all my dates got canceled. I'm sure for a lot of comics, we lost like $20,000 worth of work, went up like that, gone. And I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do for money? What am I gonna do? And then next thing I know, Disney program, staffed on this show. And those are the moments where you're like, maybe there is someone up there looking out for me. So, I was writing on this show and it went really well. And I first, they said there might not be an episode available for you because the main goal is you want to be able to not only impress your bosses and the rest of the staff, but you want to get your own episode so that you could say like, I wrote an episode
Which
of TV,
you did.
which I did. Yeah. And at first they said there wouldn't be room for me, but by the end, last month, they're like, hey, we're going to give you an episode, which to me showed that I impressed them, that they changed their mind.
You're like the Kurt Warner of comics. He
What's
played
that?
arena football. He got drafted. No, you just never stop, and I just love that tenacity.
Thanks, man. I definitely had to, sometimes you got to accept that you're a journeyman,
Yeah.
It's like I started when I was young, and when you're 19 or 20, you're starting, your hope to pop by the time you're 25, 26, 27, before 30, before you feel kind of old or whatever.
I thought that from day one. Here, I'm 51 years old doing a fucking podcast.
But you did fucking a lot of shit.
You know what's so funny? I talk about this. I told people like, oh, I'm never gonna do a podcast, and then if I do it, I'll do it when I'm 50.
Yeah.
I said that when I was 40.
Yeah.
And when I was 50, I called up Jam in the van. I'm like, you want to do a podcast?
Yeah. I mean, the podcast is this new show. There's a new TV show, though, man. But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you did Tonight Show. You got a Comedy Central thing. You did a thing with Vince Vaughn. Like, you toured. You've been on a TV show, And for me, it's kind of like...
Let me pick up those credits you just dropped.
There they are.
Thank you,
there they are. No, that's real. You got to own that.
No, I did.
And you do. And that you did dope shit,
And it's about evolving and...
Yeah,
continuing to change.
I've seen that in this town too. I'm tons of a bunch of veteran comics and stuff that it's ebbs and flows. That's the business, But for me, it's kind of been it's going up, but I haven't had a lot of straight up peaks. Like I haven't been, here's my half-hour special, but it's like it's constantly moving in the right direction, making a living.
Your time's coming because everybody gets their shot. And
Thanks.
As long as you're prepared, I don't think you've gotten your shot yet.
Yeah, I also
whether it's given to you or you have created it, but it's you're right there around the corner, bro.
Thanks, man. No, I feel that too. I feel like it's all moving and it's all going, and you have to just
the juju.
And you have to accept that if that's the path, as long as you're happy with what you're doing and it's moving in the right direction and I'm making a good living doing what I'm doing, it's cool. You don't got to be, and then you give up on the dream of like, I want to host. This was never the dream, but like be young enough to host TRL or like, you know what I mean? Be 28 and have like a college sitcom or something. But it's fine when those are gone and you realize like, okay, I'm still doing creative stuff. What's the next goal? The main thing is you can never stop moving the needle in the direction you want it to go.
Exactly.
And creating your own shit and just believing it's going to happen and getting better and better at whatever you're working on, Like I was good enough at screenwriting to get into the writing program for Disney. And Disney, of course, people don't realize it's not like I was writing for Disney Channel. It's like they own ABC, Hulu, Freeform, FX, Disney Plus. So, but since then, it's like, okay, so if this is a new avenue I'm getting some heat on and I'm getting a lot of opportunities at, I need to buckle down and like really master this craft, So since that time 2 years ago, I've written 3 more screenplays. I'm pitching a show right now. I've got like potential showrunners attached to it. I'm going out with that in mind, and I'm trying to be better because I do spin a lot of plates and focusing my energy on serving one God at a time. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so I'm still doing stand-up, but I'm not chasing down and like kissing ass to go do random gigs on random nights at random clubs, random bars.
Yeah, you're not doing shows for chicken wings anymore.
100%. You hit me up to do a gig, I'll do it. You pay me a good amount of money, I'll go out of town and I'll do it. I do go and do college gigs, pay fucking a lot of money, corporate gigs pay a lot. But other than that, if I'm in town, I'm really just trying to focus on what I'm writing and what I'm trying to sell.
You've definitely been one of the more prolific, artists that I've ever met.
Thanks.
You're just always writing, editing, shooting stuff, getting on stage. Like you're just always, your hustle's really strong. That being said, what's up next for you? And then let's end it with your best Hollywood tale.
All right. Well, what's up next is, like I said, I'm pitching a show right now based on some life experiences that I'm really excited about. I don't want to tell anybody. And I think it's got some good momentum there, and just up for having interviews to write on new shows and stuff like that too, and also thinking about shooting something. I have some people who want to like invest in me shooting like a comedy special of some sort. So trying to decide if I want to make it a solo thing or like a showcase special kind of thing. Just trying to That's the thing. There's so many things to target. You got to kind of figure what do you have the energy and time
Yeah,
for, and
you have
what
to
do you,
zone in on one thing.
and the older you get, you also realize just what the fuck do I want to do?
Yeah.
What sounds fun and fulfilling to me?
Are you
that's what I'm
auditioning
thinking.
for stuff?
Yeah, I'm auditioning all the time.
All the time.
You're just getting rejected all the time. You know,
On Zoom or in person?
Zoom. I think I had my first in-person audition like last month in a really long time. But yeah, auditions are happening. All that stuff's happening. You know, and just trying to allocate the research, focusing on the internet presence, which is the new thing. You know, growing my TikTok following. Got a lot of followers on there now. So just keeping have a whole slew of content I'm going to be shooting soon, and just like you're doing with the podcast, shelving it, releasing it. So
Just creating a library of content.
just doing that and finding the time and energy to do it, while also trying to focus on my health and, you know, being happy with the other things outside of life than just
What's the 5-6 year plan by the time you hit 40? Where do you see yourself?
I want to be running a show that I also have a small role in, but I don't need to be the star of because that'd be too
Okay.
hard. So I'll be show running, acting.
You
in the
guys hear
show.
that? He's gonna go behind the camera.
Yeah. Head writing, show running, directing an episode or two of the season, and having a small role in it. Because I think if you try too hard to be a lead in a thing that you also are show running or directing, something's going to suffer.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
And I don't really have the draw, like I don't need to be the star of anything, but I enjoy acting and I'd like to do some more. But I love directing and writing the most, probably, along with stand-up.
Are marriage and kids in the card in the future?
Marriage, maybe. Kids, probably not. You know,
No, I'm laughing because for me that ship sailed. Like
Yeah.
I don't have any interest
yeah.
in kids whatsoever. I love kids. I love all my friends' kids, my nephews and nieces.
Yeah.
But when I see kids melting down like at the mall and shit,
Yeah.
and parents are like, "Tommy, you better stop it. I'm not gonna give you." I will grab my kid and like
And end up in jail. yeah.
Like I don't even want to.
Yeah. Dude, for me, it's when I'm boarding planes and I just see like
They should have a
wife and
section
kid.
for children on planes. I keep
100%.
saying that.
And
Why don't they just board off the back of the plane
plexiglass
and all the
around them.
kids and plexiglass and soundproof it like a podcast studio?
100%.
And
Yeah.
all the moms or dads or and both
They just
sit with the fucking
just
kids.
marinate in your noise together.
and urine.
Yeah.
They smell of urine and poop
Bro,
and yelling.
this
It
is the
sucks.
visual. This is the visual that I always the best birth control for me. is when I see the dad walking on the plane with the mom, and the dad's holding the stroller and the other thing, and the mom's holding it. Their hair's all disheveled. They got
Yeah.
one kid in the hand and another, and two kids are pulling
No,
on them and
thank
crying. And the dad looks fucking 90 when he's 28.
No, thank
and
you.
he just looks miserable. And I'm just like,
No,
good
thanks.
God, this looks like a lot, bro. And I think our journeys are so taxing and tough, and we're kind of forced to be selfish, not in a negative way, but look out for it's such an self-intensive journey to get any headway with what we're doing and what we're so passionate about that it's just having all of that extra stuff isn't calling me enough to add that to my fucking plate.
Well, everyone's like,
You
you
know?
need to have children so you can leave a legacy. The world's gonna end in like 5-10 years. So
Yeah.
I hate to be a fucking downer, but
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't all
need-
the signs are here. Like
Yeah, I
it's
don't
not
need-
gonna last. You know,
I don't
another
need some
5
kid crying next to me when fucking the next nuke is going off. You
Yeah,
know what
when
I mean?
I see
just-
asteroids coming
Yeah,
down from the fucking
I just want to
sky,
die in peace.
I
Man.
just want to shake my kid and go, wake up and look at the goddamn asteroid.
Yeah. I don't need to lie to a child when we're all about to die. Everything's gonna be fine.
Right.
I just want to be like, yeah, we're all about to die.
Yeah, we're
right
about to
now.
die.
This is happening. Hollywood
Tell
Tale.
us your best, funniest, darkest, most peculiar Hollywood tale. That's how we end the podcast.
Jesus, man.
I
Which
know you
one should
probably
I
have
go
a
with?
lot.
I know.
It could have been at a party, something you worked at, like something that's celebrity driven or Hollywood.
How about this? Something
Oriented.
that just occurred after a comedy club night. You know what I mean? And this wasn't in LA, but it's on the road,
Sure.
so it's a Hollywood adjacent tale, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better sit back for this one, Wolf.
I was at the Pittsburgh Improv, and I'm staying with our friends Mike and Kendall there.
Yep.
Shout out, awesome people.
Shout out Mike and Kendall.
And then we do a show, and I have a really great set, and then we're hanging out afterwards, and these like 4 or 5 like sexy girls are like just making a lot of ruckus and being in the thing and hovering around the merch table, and I'm just like, and they're like talking, and I'm not even thinking like, oh, what can I do? I'm always just like, maybe I can sell a couple of my shitty wristbands, you know. Help pay for this fucking plane flight. And then, you know, they're like, oh, what are you doing after this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know. You know, we might go party, this and that. You guys want to go do this and that? And they're like, we were going to go to the strip club. And I was like, why do y'all want to go to the strip club? Be like, just go by, see our girls. And then I'm like, oh, is that where you guys like work? And they're like, yeah. So they're like 4 strippers, right? And one of them's like, well, they work for me. So she was, one of the women is like older. You could tell she like used to be a stripper. And then she
She's like the madam or the manager.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
It's kind of like when a comic gets older and opens a club in fucking Pittsburgh or something, And so she opened her own club, right? And then she's like, you want to come?
What was it called?
I don't remember. And I'm not a strip club person I'm really not. And so she's like, do you want to come, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not sure I'm like a strip club guy. You guys want to go to like another bar or something? And then she's like, just come, anything you want's on me. And I was like,
fuck it, let's go.
I was like, I just want a strip club guy tonight, And so we go to the strip club. We're walking around. It's fucking a strip club. You know what I mean? It's all cool and weird and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, damn, it's crazy. So I'm sitting down. And it was the first time, I can't think of another situation, unless you're like insanely famous, where like as a guy, you're getting like royal treatment in a strip club. You know what I mean? And this is the beauty of comedy, is like, I'm not famous. I wasn't famous at the time, but I did a good enough set that night that created some illusion that I was worth having around and treating to this. Or maybe I made them laugh so much they wanted to. Maybe they like me as a person. I don't know. So anyway, I'm sitting down, I'm getting free beers, I'm hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And then she gets one of the girls from the club and she's like, why don't you show him around and, tell the girls he's with me and, whatever he wants is on the house. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know if are you allowed to have sex with strippers? Like, I'm really not a strip club guy. You touch the boobies? What do? You know what I mean? In any case, I'm walking around and we're looking at the girls and the girl's like, so what do you like? You know what I mean? And I'm like, whatever. And I'm being all fucking like shy about it. And then I'm like, this girl's already at the comedy club and I just don't want to like pay, even if I'm not paying for it. I don't want paid for fake intimacy. That's just not my thing. So then I just start, chatting with a girl that's showing me around who was at the show. So I'm like, my type is like you, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I would like to just like, how about we just go hang out and get to know you better or whatever, So I end up taking her back. I'm staying with Mike and Kendall in their guest room. It's 3 a.m. I have a flight back to LA at 6 a.m. I take her back to their place and I just have way too loud sex with the stripper in Mike and Kendall's guest room all night. I get done. I'm literally watching the clock for when I have to be boarding my plane. And I'm just like, here, you can like, I'm trying to be nice, but I'm like, you can clean up and, chill, make yourself at home. But like, I kind of have to leave and probably makes sense if you're not here when my friends wake up, So I just like...
You like half kicked her out?
Yeah, like half kicked her out / half left the stripper in their place, run down, clean up, jump in a cab, get to the airport, no sleep, get on a cab, get back to fucking LA. And this was at a point where I'm still training. And like by the time I land, like 5 hours later, no sleep, I'm personal training clients at Crunch. It's just like, that's the dichotomy of that middle of your Hollywood journey. You know what I mean? Where you can be feeling like a star in another town, royal treatment at some cool fucking strip club.
Taking strippers home.
And then you get back and you're training some fucking difficult diva who's like yelling at you because they don't think they need to do another set of crunches. You know what I mean? And you're just like, fuck, how much longer can I juggle these two lifestyles?
Any quick, that's a great Hollywood tale.
Huh.
Any quick celebrity tales? Like under 3-minute story.
Damn, son.
I mean, aside from me.
Aside from you. Yeah, aside from you.
No, I'm just kidding. But, you've interacted with some like famous people in Hollywood.
I have.
Weird, funny stories that you recall or...
I think I can't really recall anything that's worth recounting other than just getting annihilated with like a lot of different famous people. But one of the most memorable one was with Nick Swardson, who can drink a lot.
He's sober now.
Good for him.
I saw him recently. He doesn't drink right now because he's just not drinking.
Good, because his face looks like it drank all the alcohol in the
Right.
country.
I think the stripper story we should end on.
Yeah.
Yo, man. We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for coming on our Hollywood Tales podcast. We do this every week here from Jam in the Van, 3384 Motor Avenue. If you haven't been to this place, it's a cool multiplex with indoor-outdoor venues, podcast studio, awesome green room. There's a little roll-your-own joint station upstairs. They serve alcohol here. It's coincidentally an ex-rehab center. I don't know if you know that.
I did not.
This place is an ex-rehab center. Welcome back. Located next to a mosque. I want to thank everybody here at Jam in the Van, the whole staff, Jake Trainer, Jake Kotler, Dave Bell, the owners, Jack Higgins, our creative director, and Wolf Ramirez, who you cannot see. And I'm waiting to rig a camera for you, Wolf. Are you ready for that?
I'm still working on it.
We need to just like put a little GoPro right there so we can cut to you like smirking or laughing or nodding your head or whatever. So Wolf Ramirez, thank you, bud. And follow me on Instagram at Ahmed Ahmed Comedy, AHMED twice comedy, and
Feraz Ozel on Instagram, FERAZOZEL, and on TikTok at Ozel Comedy, OZEL.
And we have some shows coming up at Sea Legs in Huntington Beach, Ontario Improv in August. Got some shows in September, October coming up in Fort Lauderdale and Fort Worth, and the Seattle Comedy Club, and possibly some overseas dates. So stay tuned. Check my Instagram, Ahmed Ahmed Comedy, and we're out. Thank you. Peace.